Hey, I'm Michelle with Balanced Health, and I'm a family nurse practitioner specializing in medical weight loss. So, in today's video, I wanted to just talk briefly about maintenance dosing of GLP-1s, meaning semaglutide, tirzepatide, Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, all those things. And I typically tell my patients at the beginning, one of the common questions I often get is, will I have to stay on these forever? And I like to tell patients up front that it depends. The longer you've struggled with your weight, then the more likely it is that you would need long-term treatment for that. It is considered a chronic health condition. So if you've struggled for 30 or 40 years, then likely you're going to want to stay on a dose of the medication, not a larger dose that's making you or helping you lose weight, but a small dose that basically just kind of takes the edge off of your appetite. Because once you do get to your goal weight, then you can be a little bit more liberal in the amount you eat and still be able to maintain. So there is, for those people who've struggled a longer time, they will likely need to do a dose, a maintenance dose. Occasionally, I get a patient who had surgery and they put a bunch of weight on, and because they were immobile for a while, and now they're up to doing their regular routine, but they just can't seem to get the weight off, and they just kind of use the injections kind of as a kickstart. And for those people who've not really struggled with their weight, they can likely use these as a tool, get that weight off, transition off, and be fine. So with that being said, once you do get to your goal weight, then I always recommend that you basically we got to go really slow. We want our bodies we can't change things abruptly. We have to change things very slowly. I tell people it's kind of like being on a big cruise ship, and there's Barkley helping today. And if you're on a big cruise ship and you're heading due north and you need to completely turn around and go due south, but nobody can know about it. So you'd have to do that very, very slowly. And it's kind of the same thing with our bodies. We've got to kind of almost trick our bodies. So don't let me bother you, Barkley. Um, so once you get to your go weight, you will really want to keep things the same. Keep the same dose you've been doing. Keep eating the way you've been eating to get to your goal weight. Keep exercising the same. Keep drinking your water. Do all those things the same. And do that for at least a month or so. And really let your body kind of get adjusted to this new set point of your weight. Because if you just get to your goal weight, you stop the injections, oftentimes it's just going to come right back on. So you really want to go very slowly. So do the same. That's my recommendations anyway. Do the same thing for a while, 4 to 6 weeks, and then very gradually start reducing your dose. So usually I recommend about 5 units every couple of weeks. So very, very gradually decrease it. Then for most of my patients, they typically maintain on just 10 units, usually every week to 10 days. I do recommend you take something at least every 10 days or so, because if you go longer than that, then you're letting all the medication completely get out of your system, and it does sort of build because it has a long half-life. So if you go too long, then you're almost starting all the way back over and not really getting as much of an effect from the medication. So I think it's better to take a smaller amount more frequently than really space it out further than 10 days or 2 weeks at the most. So that's my recommendations on maintenance with GLP-1. So if you have any questions or comments, just put those down below.